Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I know it's been a while, but I finally feel like I have time to do art and my art block has gone away. So here's this Ahuhu sketchbook that I wanted to start because I recently just finished my last sketchbook and you can see that sketchbook tour in my channel. But I was so excited to try this sketchbook. It was a little smaller than I thought it was going to be, but I'm not too worried about that. So one of the first things I started doing with my sketchbooks is taking off the package that shows the dimensions and the brand of the sketchbook and putting that in the little pocket in the back so that I have it for future reference if I wanted to get another one. I have been working in this sketchbook for a while and actually have not drawn on the first page just because I always have that fear of messing it up. So I finally got around to it. And my favorite part about the sketchbooks is they come with this clear plastic sleeve that matches the dimensions perfectly, because I did have that clear plastic sleeve that was dirty. And that came with my markers, but it was a little bit too large for this sketchbook, so it ended up working out great. So there is a pocket in the back of the sketchbook, which I find very, very helpful. I tend to only get sketchbooks if they have this pocket because I love sticking stuff inside of it. The front cover is a very hard plastic, so as you can see, I just did stickers on that and then I wrote on it with my RTX acrylic markers. But I do have another video of me decorating this sketchbook, so you can go find that on my channel as well. The CD is a sticker that I actually created, and here is all my goals for this sketchbook. And here is the sketch that I will be finishing for the first page. For a while, I couldn't decide if I wanted to add color to this or not, but I found that the reason I probably wasn't doing this is because I wasn't limiting myself enough on the art supplies that I could use, and I was just getting overwhelmed. So I decided to just stick to pencil on this first drawing. Yes, this is a self-portrait. I did it on my last sketchbook, and I really liked the first page being like a welcome page from me. So I did that again for this sketchbook. I find it easiest when doing pencil drawings to go in and do the darkest shadows first, and then after that do lighter and lighter each step. Compared to my self-portrait in my last sketchbook, this one looks a lot more like me, but I did take more time and I didn't stylize it as much as I did the other one. I'm so happy that I'm getting back into art again because I've wanted to be creating art for a while now, but I just never had any ideas that I wanted to do and nothing was turning out how I wanted it to. But when I finally started again, I was not going to limit myself and talk down to myself when I was doing art, because obviously when you're getting back into it, it's not going to look the best and you're going to have some pictures that you're not happy with. So I took that into account and then just went from there and just kept practicing and now I feel like I'm back to where I was. The other reason I haven't been able to create a lot of art recently is because I've been very busy with work and my vet school application, because that's coming up due in September. So I've been putting all my time and energy into that, all my free time. So I haven't had a lot of time to draw lately, but that's coming to an end. I'm almost finished with that. So it's been freeing up a little bit more time in between working, going to the gym, and sleeping, obviously, to do some art. I lately have really enjoyed doing realism pieces. Kind of like, well, this one's not super realistic. It's still a little bit cartoonish, but I have loved drawing. Just recently, I drew balloons because my birthday is coming up. So I didn't video that just because I didn't want the pressure of recording, because it was the first time in a while that I'd done any balloon realism. So I won't have a video on that, but you'll see it in my sketchbook tour. So a little bit about this sketchbook and how I feel about it so far, because I have used it quite a bit lately. I think I've done like 8 pieces in there and they're all different mediums. I do like how the acrylic markers do on this sketchbook, so if you like to use acrylic markers, this is a good one for it because the pages are very smooth and thicker. I have not used watercolor on this. I have used marker, and there's still some bleed through, which is not what I was expecting because this is a marker pad, so I assumed that there wouldn't be bleed through, but there was. It's not as bad as my last sketchbook, but you can still see it. So I was kind of disappointed with that. I do like a little bit of texture on my paper when I'm doing colored pencil, so it's been weird getting used to the smooth texture, but it's not bad. And overall, I do like this sketchbook. It does great for most of the mediums that I use, and even though it does bleed through a little bit with markers, it was nowhere near as bad as my last sketchbook. So the only thing I would have to complain about is I feel like this sketchbook doesn't have that many pages. I think it was like 30. So I will be filling it up pretty quickly, which isn't a bad thing because it just means another sketchbook tour for y'all, but it also means I need another sketchbook. Which isn't a problem because I partnered with Illo Sketchbook a while back to do a sketchbook giveaway, so I got a mixed media spiral bound Illo sketchbook, and I have only drawn it a little bit, but I know I'm gonna like this one. The paper texture is amazing, and I can't wait to start on that one, so the fact that this one doesn't have very many pages is not heartbreaking to me. I know a lot of artists always say don't fear the first page, but I find if I am struggling to start in a sketchbook, I skip the first page and I just go on to the next one because there's not as much pressure. And then when I get comfortable using this sketchbook, then I will go back and do the first page. And I feel like it turns out a lot better than if I were to just try to force myself to do the first page. I was using the clear sleeve to make sure that I didn't smudge the graphite while I was drawing. And this took some getting used to just because I am not used to drawing in just graphite. Normally, when I'm drawing, I try to sketch out in colored pencil and then color it all in with markers. So I'm not used to having to worry about smudging. The hair took so long to draw, and I honestly was getting bored of it towards the end, so I'm glad when it was finally done and I was able to add shadows to everywhere else and not worry about detailing hair. I'm very excited to get back into making YouTube videos because I have missed being able to talk to you guys and record this, so it's very refreshing to start over again. Obviously, I am not filming this the exact date that it's posted. I actually filmed a couple of videos so that I was able, if I needed to take a break and it not be noticed on YouTube. In 2025, I really am going to focus on trying to grow my YouTube channel, so I'm going to take it a little bit more seriously and try to post more consistently and not have huge gaps where I haven't posted like I have from my sketchbook tour to the last video before that. I also finally have a space that I'm happy to create art in, so that helps when I'm feeling like I'm art blocked. It helps to have that around me because now my desk is sitting in front of a window so I can see outside and it's just a lot better. I also got a second tripod so that I could film different angles for y'all. I have been wanting to buy a new art supply lately, so if there's one that y'all recommend or you want to see me do a review video on, let me know down in the comments because I like to get things that y'all would want to see, and I also like to use new things. So if you have an art supply that you think I should get, let me know. Also on that note, if you have any video ideas that you want to see me do, comment those as well because I'm always open to new ideas from y'all and I want to do what y'all want to see. I sadly will be moving again in the near future, so I don't know if that's going to cause me not to be able to film for a while because not everything's set in stone right now, so I have no idea how that's going to work. Anyways, back to the drawing at hand. So for the darker details, I used a 2B, and for the lighter details, I used a 2H, but I also used an HB just to be in the middle shade, and I found this worked out really well for me. There are, of course, more types of pencils, but these three worked well enough. So for the shading, I did use the 2H pencil just because it was going to put down the lightest color. And if you don't know what they mean, the B means that the graphite is softer so that it's darker, and the H means that the graphite is harder so that it's lighter and you can get more finer details. I tried something new and went in with a paintbrush to see if that would work for blending, but I found my finger worked a lot better, even though it's harder to get into those small spaces and not smudge it everywhere. It just worked better than the blending from this paintbrush. But I did try for a while with the paintbrush, and then I finally used my finger. The reason I put howdy in the bottom of this portrait was because in the reference photo that I used of myself, I had a tank top on that said howdy, so it's kind of just a way to remember where I got this picture from. I do have a small sketchbook tour of this sketchbook at the end of this video, so stay till the end to find that. I'm not going to show you everything that I'm doing because I have a lot of sketches that I plan to do videos on, so I don't want to ruin that. I also really want to do another video on art blocks since I did go through it for a couple of months. I feel like I need to show what I did to help get over that so that I could help other artists. I think the main thing that led to that art block was the fact that I was just creating art every single day. And I was pressuring myself into doing that, and I definitely needed a break. Although I took one longer than I expected to do, sometimes you just have to. Okay, so I am done chatting about everything that's going on right now, so I'll let y'all watch this and I'll see you at the end. As you can see by the date that I put on this drawing, I started the sketchbook in June, but didn't actually do the first page till August, so I have been working in it a while before I decided to do that. Here is the small sketchbook tour. I had to use alcohol markers on the first page just because I wanted to see how they did with the sketchbook, and you can see they did bleed through. But if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.